This is how I tie my Nymphy Mop Fly. It's only like a 2.5 inch, maybe even smaller fly, but I'll tell you what, it catches big fish. You're going to take a size 4 mosquito hook from Owner Hooks, throw a bead of some sort. These are Cyclops beads that I'm using. Cool thing about it, you can go bigger or smaller depending on how fast you want it to descend into the water. I'm using 140 UTC thread. Go all the way back to the bend of the hook, which is where you're going to tie in this UV mottled Galaxy Mop Fly material from Hareline. This stuff is amazing. In fact, I have caught fish on this material, just it wrapped on a hook like a little worm Ned rig fly. Very effective, but we're going to be a little fancy because I think we can make it even better. You're going to do 3 lengths. 3 lengths of the shank of the hook is how long you want this material to be from the eye of the hook going backwards. Once it's tied in, you're going to wrap it around the shank nice and tight so that it's not going to move. If it's rotating around the hook, it's not as good. It'll still catch fish, but it won't look as good on YouTube. So after that, you are going to do a bunch of like tight wraps to make sure there's enough space for the collar that we're going to build. And the first step of the collar is to add in this Scud back from Upavon. This is in the color brown. I love it because it's really flexy, and I think it's perfect for tying on as kind of like a hot spot or like a dark spot in this case. Tie that in because later you're going to wrap it up on top of something else. This next stuff is Fulling Mills Flex Floss in the color brown. This stuff is awesome. It moves so well in the water, so much so that you can let this fly just sit on the bottom of the water, which is how I catch a lot of fish. And this stuff will just move and just looks like legs to a nymph. I think I've halved it 2 or 3 times, but whatever length, as long as you make the length too long, that's great because then you can reduce the length if you don't like it. A lot of times I'll tie oversized legs into flies because a lot of bass and sunfish in my area, I'm in Texas, they like the extra movement. It's not like we've got these super picky trout over here that are that hard to catch. We're going to go with some hinback. I get mine from Sportsman's Finest, where I'm going to tie it in ever so tenderly. I Some people say that I take too many wraps. That's okay. We're just going for bass here, and I'm not trying to win awards. I'm just trying to show you how to catch fish with really easy flies to tie. Of course, I messed up there. Got to tie it back in. Never give up. What I'm trying to do here is force the little feathers to go backwards so that when you tie in the rest of the fly, everything's pushed backwards. You're going to push back the legs. You're going to push back these little fibers on the feather, and it's going to make this little collar that just looks really good in the water, makes it look super buggy. And I think that's what has allowed me to fish this so successfully, is that little extra movement from this fly. When it gets down to the bottom, you don't have to do anything with it. So I'm going to try and wrap back these legs, try and get a little bit over the leg, pull that one back if it's not cooperating. And if it's like ugly and going forwards, again, not a huge deal. Still probably going to catch fish. Tie it all back and then pull that Scud back on top. Lock it in with a few wraps. And then once you've done that, pull it back over itself and do a couple more wraps again. Some people don't like when I put big collars behind the bead. That's okay. They can not like that, but that's how I tie this fly. And I'll tell you what, I got proof that it works. I'm going to add in some color just so that it blends in a little bit better. I don't think this is a super necessary step. And then we're going to add in some Loon. This is the Eufy fly finish material in the color black. I'm doing this to just kind of make it extra indestructible. I know the knot is down there, and so that's going to make sure that everything gets hardened. Use that UV torch, give it a couple twists and turns. That was about 8 seconds, if you're wondering how long that takes. This is what the fly looks like in the vise. Now, stay tuned if you want to learn how to actually fish the fly and see some of the fish that I've caught with this fly recently. It's currently 2025 in the month of March, so it's beautiful springtime. What I'm fishing here is it's my tube boat on Town Lake with a Tenkara rod, and I'm letting that fly sink all the way to the bottom, and then just gently giving some love taps on the way while I'm retrieving it, and I hook into a nice little bass. This thing fought with me for like 3 or 4 minutes. It was pulling me around. I don't have a lot of oomph in this Tinkara rod. It's really meant for like trout and smaller fish, but made it extra fun trying to catch it. The thing that's most important, I think, with the presentation in super clear water, which is what I was fishing it in, is making sure that you let it descend slowly. The number one thing that I think keeps me from catching more fish is my impatience. I found that if I let that fly sink and just sit, like we're talking 30 seconds, wait for 30 seconds, let it sink all the way to the bottom, unless the bottom's like super nasty and is going to get you tangled or something. But let it sink all the way to the bottom and just give it tiny little love taps on your retrieve. That has been the best way to do it. This next clip, this is the biggest bass I've caught on this lake. It's the lake I grew up fishing in Austin. So I've fished this lake for 25 years. And I've never really caught that big of fish, at least not while I've been fly fishing. And same thing, I let it sink all the way to the bottom. I waited what seemed like an eternity to start tapping it in little strips. And just look at this big old water donkey that I was able to pull in again in front of a couple of people. Oh, I just love it. Love it. It's so shocking. I mean, when I turn this bass around, look at how small this fly is in comparison to how large the mouth of this bass is. Tiny. I didn't think that, like when I tied this fly and went fishing on this day, I did not think that I was going to be catching big mamas like this. I was really just thinking, oh, I'll catch a couple small bass and maybe a bunch of sunfish, which is usually what I target. I'm a volume guy. I like to catch a lot of fish instead of just like try to hit a home run all day and maybe catch one or two big fish. But this little fly, it is not a lot to it. And I think if you tie it just as a little Ned rig, even without the collar behind the bead, I still think it's going to work really well. Let me know what you thought about the video. If you think this stuff is great, subscribe. If you think it sucks, let me know in the comments. And let me know if you've got any ideas for any other flies or themes that you'd want to see. Appreciate your time.